really want to sell more houses, right? Okay. All right, you do. Okay, this side of the room, I'm gonna hang out over here. This is the winning side of the room. Okay, so now, right, you got that down. Now, 5 times per speaking engagement. So 5 times 4 is?
21.
20 times 10 is?
200.
200. That's warm leads, right? Out of the room. Okay, referrals, whatever you want to call them. Now you're going to get 3. 3 times 4 is 12. 12 times 10 is
120.
Thank you. 120. 120 houses that you sold in 1 year. Wow. Right? If you follow this method. See, public speaking works with consistency. You can't dabble in it. You can't do it once in a while. It's like your relationship. You can't dabble in it. You're going to date somebody, right, Elizabeth? Right, Elizabeth. She's got a fiance. She doesn't have a fiance. If that fiance didn't take her out every week, right?
Poor guy. Poor guy.
It's consistency. That's the problem. Too many people, they think they can dabble in it, do it once in a while. No, I'm talking about a marketing strategy where you can get rid of all other marketing strategies. You can get rid of cold calls because they're going to be warm calls because they saw you, they met you. How many of you would like to stop the cold calling and just do the warm calling? Right? Stop. You go. Right? Yeah, much better. Because, hey, remember I spoke at your event? Or I spoke to you. Oh, yeah. Right? They're probably going to be more apt to call you back too if you leave a message because they know you. They felt your passion. A passion for real estate that each and every one of you already have inside, or you wouldn't be in this business. Right? So, 120 clients. Now, write down in your little calculation box, how much is one client worth to you? 10,000, 20,000, is it a million? Are you going for the boutique high-end homes? What are you doing? Write that down and multiply it by 120. I'm telling you, this is what's possible because I teach all my clients how to do it. Right? Consistency. Now, again, it's a formula, so if you don't do it as much, if you say, I can't do it every week, fine. Cut that number in half. So instead of 10 million, you're going to make 5 million. So what? Right? Right? It's up to you how fast you want this car to go, how much you want to turn on that faucet for leads and listings. That's up to you. I'm just telling you, I guarantee it. All right, so that's leads. Everybody good with that? Everybody have a number? Who wants to share their number with me? Who wants to share their number? Who's brave and wants to share their number? I'm going to ask, what is your name in the corner? What is it?
Jose.
Jose. What's your number?
I didn't do the calculation.
Okay, so what's one client worth to you? Like an average, 10,000 times 120. What is that number? Use your phone if you need help. If it's so big, you need help. Right? Put that number. I want you to be looking at that number every single day. That's a possibility. What's your number? Okay, yeah, get out your phone. What's your number?
960,000.
32 million. Oh, 1.2 million. What is it, Jose?
960,000.
160,000. 960,000. Okay, in 1 year. Who else has a number? You have a number? 2 million. All right. You see what's possible?
Right?
Okay. Now, let's go to the next level, which is E. Why does this work so well? Yeah, I know it sounds too good to be true, but I have seen it, I've done it, and I've trained. Consistency is key. But if you just want to cut that number in half to buy a fourth, then do that. once a month.
So 120.
I'll tell you, you'll get better and better the more you speak,
50,000.
right?
Yeah, so 120.
Kind of like working out, right? So how many of you work out? Okay? So the more you work out, what happens? What happens? Right? The better you get, right? So I work out 6 days a week for 90 minutes. Not to brag, but just because it's consistency, just like public speaking. It takes discipline, commitment, most importantly, consistency. And you need to do it right. You need to get trained. I have a trainer. I go to where Jennifer used to go, and Sonia used to go. That's where we went.
And she's amazing, Arvee Padilla, she's amazing.
They will come back, right? But you gotta get the right trainer, right?
You be consistent, you have to stay with it.
And stay with it.
See,
And
this
that's
is what
when you-
consistency looks like. Exactly.
That's when you reap all the benefits. So why does it work so well? We're going to the easy. Because it positions you as an expert in your field. And I'm telling you, there's not enough real estate experts out there speaking. And when I say speaking, I'm not talking about advertisements. I'm not saying come and do this. I'm saying you get out there and teach, you give some value. And people go, wow, you really know about this. I've not heard that. Right? Something innovative in your industry. You know, whatever it might be, you have to be creative. Skirting around the high interest rates, I don't know, be creative. Think of it, you know it, you have your own expertise, each and every one of you. And each and every one of you has a message to share that only you can share to people that can only hear it from you. That's the beauty of public speaking. Your message is going to be different from his message, from her message, from his message, from your message. And I used to think if you couldn't deliver your message, it could be taken away from you and given to someone else. And then one day I'm in church and I hear the pastor say this. God has given us all unique gifts. What does unique mean? What does unique mean? Yeah, one of a kind that only you have. One of a kind that only you have. Are you getting this? And in that moment, I thought, that's it. That's the same with your message. You each have a unique message that only you could share to people that can only hear it from you. No one can take that message from you. No one can deliver it for you. And if you don't deliver it, it will be undelivered for all eternity. Think about that. It'll be undelivered. So what is that? That means the people that you were supposed to help, the homes that you were supposed to get them into, the right homes, those people go on suffering. They go on searching for you. They're waiting for you. They're just sitting waiting. Nothing's gelling because it's not your message. That's how important it is. So if you go learn anything today, know that you are special and that you have a unique message and that you need to deliver it because no one can do it for you. And when you do deliver it, that's when you're going to serve. And selling is about serving. And that's when you're going to get the listings. And that's when you're going to have the abundance. Because you open your mouth. So positions you as an expert even before you show up to where you're going to speak. For example, there was a flyer about me that Justin did. And how many of you believed I was an expert before you ever walked into this room? Right? Just by looking at 2 people. Yay! But it positions you an expert before you ever speak. And nothing does that. Nothing on the planet does that. So let's go, that's the E, let's go to the A. The A is for audience. Public speaking will work the best when you're in front of your own target market. Whatever you decide, whether it's first-time home buyers or million dollar, luxury homes, whatever your target is, it'll work the best to get those 5 warm leads. Bye, Elizabeth. Happy birthday.
Thank you.
Happy birthday, Saturday. It'll work. She told me she was leaving. I'm not calling her out or anything. I told her to say goodbye. Unless I was in the zone.
Audience?
So audiences, it works the best if you're in front of your target market audience. But it'll still work, but you just won't get those 5 leads. You might get 3 or 2, but that's okay, right? Especially in the beginning. We're not greedy. We'll take it. So, target market. But let me tell you what's happened with audiences. Because audiences have changed. Now, some of you have been speaking for a while, and some of you have taken training, and some of you might have even had Toastmasters. I'm early Toastmaster and have my routine and all that stuff as well. But let me tell you this, public speaking has changed over the years. It is not the same. So whatever you learned, forget about it. It's different now. Just like computers, right? Just like technology, just like real estate, just like everything on the planet has changed because it's evolved, right? It's evolved. Medicine has evolved. Remember I said we didn't even have cell phones. And then we had those annoying pagers for a while. Oh my God. And we had to find a phone, a payphone, right? Some of you never seen a payphone. And that's okay. I didn't need to ever see one either, and I hope I never see one again. So things have changed in public speaking. So if you've taken training, good for you. Now it's time to take new training because there's new trends and new things that happen. Let me share with you just kind of on a broad scale the difference. So in the old days, we would go even to school, but we would go and we would get lectured, right? Speakers would lecture us and we'd sit there dutifully, and sometimes we even paid to be bored. Then it changed and audiences said, we don't want that. We want a presentation. So then we would see speakers become bigger than life, like actors. Like they weren't even real. They weren't authentic. They just were, acting up there. And the audiences said, no, we don't want that. We don't want that. We want more of a conversation. So we started to see speakers become more authentic. The only problem with authenticity, or I tell people, and when they tell me, oh, I don't want to practice, I just want to be authentic, right? No, they're lazy. They're lazy because if you loved your audience and loved your message, you would rehearse it and strive for excellence. Because we have a certain amount of time and our words will either what? Sell or repel. So we don't want to do that. We want to make sure that we're saying everything right. I'll tell you how often you need to practice in a little bit. All right? So being authentic is fine, but you still need to be trained and you still need to practice. But that's where we started to hear it, is in the conversation. The audiences said, no, we don't want that. We don't want you to wing it. We don't want that kind of thing. We want more, what? An experience. Now, right before COVID, we left that era of experiential. Remember this? To the partner, give them a high five. Yay, everybody do it. High five, high five. Remember? Come on. Haven't you been to a seminar? Show the person next to you, give them a high five. Right? We just came from that. And people would do that all the time. We used to go to, Mark Victor Hansen or something, and then they would massage you, and Tony Robbins. That's experiential. And we just left that, boom, because of COVID, and we went internal. But let me share with you where it's going. And it's something I call naked authenticity. Naked authenticity. So what does that mean? It means to be real. Be real, who you are. It doesn't mean wing it. It doesn't mean don't practice. It doesn't mean don't learn. It doesn't mean any of that. It means let people in to who you are. Because up until that time, people would be politically correct. So if they were believers in God, they might say, oh, source, or whatever you believe. No, if you believe in God, you tell people you believe in God. Source, what the heck is that? You know? I remember watching the Oprah Winfrey show, the last episode. I work from home, so I never could watch it. It comes on at 3:00. And Oprah would say, I'm talking about the one, the only, G-O-D. And I thought, if it's good enough for her, it's good enough for me. Okay. So just be real. Be whoever you are. If you believe in source, then talk about source. All right? But you can talk about you and let people in through your story, just like I did. Right? Just like I did. So forget being politically correct. Be who you are. So already you know a few things about me, right? So what do you know about me already?
You're an expert.
What?
You're a believer.
Yes, that I'm a woman of faith. What else?
You're an expert. You're authentic.
That I'm authentic. What else? Right? I've been in business 20 years.
Work out.
You work out.
Work out. Thank you.
Experience.
Right? Okay? See, and I'm not saying you have to work out. I'm just letting you know. So people that want to talk to me about that can talk to me about it. So now they can talk to you about on multiple levels instead of just one, your business. Talk to you about working out. They can talk to you about faith. They can talk to you about, if you ski dived. I guess that's not anything. Ski or dive out of an airplane. Whatever your hobbies are, work them in through your stories. So people know more about you because people are people and they're looking for a connection. They're looking for something to hold on to. All right? And now you've got a one-to-many crowd, so you don't have to wait and just talk on lunch to somebody and keep talking and talking. You could do that to a crowd of 25 people every week. How cool is that? You say, that's cool.
That's
cool.
Are you seeing how this works? So make it authenticity. Be real. Don't be afraid to share and shine your light. And you're not going to please everybody, okay? There's 25% of the room is not going to like you no matter what. And that's this room. 25% of you, I don't know who you are, but you're not going to like me no matter what. And that's okay. It's okay. Because you're probably not my client. My clients love me. Like your clients love you. All right, D, we're on the D now, and the D is, I'm gonna just check my time. Okay. The D, where did the time go? Boom. Now we're going 10 after, because I started 10 after, right? You can go as long as you want. I know there's food there, so don't worry, it'll still be there. Run away. All right, so the D stands for database. Database, we must build our customer list, database, whatever you want to call it. I just use database because it's a D that I can use in leads, right? So how do you do that when you speak? Now, I'm sorry, how many of you are on social media? I know all of you, and I know Justin does a lot with social media, but I'm telling you, social media alone will not get you the clients. Right, Justin, right? Won't get you the clients, right? It'll get you a lead maybe, it'll get you some interest, it gives you visibility, we want all that. But when you're in front of a room, when you're in front of people, touching them, and not touching them, talking to them, spitting on them, whatever you want to do, there's a connection that is like, that's like, don't be in the front row when I speak. I get real passionate. Right? Tears just kind of come out. But there's nothing like in person. Wouldn't you agree? I mean, we all experienced, being isolated for 3 years or whatever. There's nothing like being in person. It's a faster approach, much faster. So we need to build that database. And you can build that database in front of people and it's warm leads, they're warm. So I'm gonna show you exactly how to do it. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna give away a couple of books, is that okay?
Yeah.
All right, so this is my Speak Up, Get Client book. I have some if anybody wants to buy them, they're only $20, but, or it's online, or it's also on Audible, spoke by the author. All right, so it has my systems in it for speaking, for creating elevator speech messages and smaller messages as well. It has everything you need also in it. Now, the other one is the impact of one voice, because for some of you, it's not about getting clients, it's about making impact and making a difference with your words. Would you agree? Say yes?
Yes.
Right? So this one is about how you can use, it's a collection of stories. It's my clients, 30 of my clients, 29 of my clients and I collaborated and created this book. It just came out, it's the #1 bestseller. So I'm gonna give these away. So how do you do that? You're gonna have something that you wanna give away. You don't have to have your own book. It could be a Starbucks card, it works just as well. And this is how you do it, step by step. And you're gonna do it with me, you're gonna play with me, right? So, do you still have business cards? Real estate professionals still have business cards, right? Because a lot of people don't anymore. So, everybody take out a business card. This is the exact script you said. Everybody take out a business card. You're gonna give away these 2 books. If you don't have a business card, just borrow one, but do put the email address on it. Because what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put you in my email list so that I can share with you my next speaking events or workshops that I'm holding. Is that okay with you? If you wanna be around, if you don't wanna be on the email list, just simply fold the card in half and I'll throw it away when I get to my office. Sound good? Yeah, what did you do? Give them a credit card? Yeah, that's a good one. That's a winner. I'll keep that one. I'll feel it and I'll keep that one. All right, now pass the cards to the center aisle. Pass the cards to the center. Okay, here's the card here. Pass it to the center. Thank you. A piece of paper works well. Okay, good. All right, that'll work. You want to go over there and look any more over there? Is there any more over there? All right, good. Okay, good. Now, we're gonna pick 2 winners. Oh, okay. Anybody else? Okay. All right. Now, get your hand in there. Okay, you're not ready. You ready? Okay, get your hand in there and like stir it. Stir it around and pick a winner. Okay, this is for the Speak Up, Get Client book. Speak Up, Get Clients. Okay, read that off for me.
Erica Ramirez.
Erica.
I actually put that card in there because I didn't have my own.
All right, we're gonna do one more. Stir it up a little bit. Set your intention. Okay, she can't win twice. She's stuffed her birthday
Is that
month. Anthony. Oh, well, there you go.
Got it.
Very good. All right, let's see how that works. Now you have your warm leads and you're gonna take them to your office. You're gonna put them in your database immediately. Send them a little thank you for being here and start that dripping of marketing. Got it? Whatever your method is. This is in the marketing class. You can see Justin for that. But, videos or whatever it is you do. But you can't just set them on your desk. They're like vitamins. You've got to take them for them to work. So you got to put them inside the database and they'll work. Okay. So next, S for stories. S is for stories. Now, there's 4 types of stories. You can put these down below as well. But the first part of story, what? The first story that you need, I shared the story. Who can guess what the first story is that that you need to have in every speech you do, no matter how short. Yes,
Yeah.
your professional story. Why? Because it earns you the right to be speaking. It gives you instant credibility. It sets you up as the expert. And you can talk about things that go beyond your introduction. And by the way, ladies and gentlemen, a bio is not an introduction. A bio is meant to be read. A bio is longer, and a bio is usually in what, third person. Do not use your bio when someone says, "Can I have a speaker introduction?" In my book, there's a template for how you can do a speaker introduction. Everything I teach, I do. Everything I teach, I use. Right? See, I came out of the systems world, and when I came in this world, there were no systems for speaking. So I started developing them because I've learned that when people have a system, a formula they can follow, they get perfection at the end. I mean, can you imagine baking or cooking without a recipe? I can. I'm much better at cooking when I follow a recipe that's been tried and true and been done a million times by different people. So I started developing these systems. I have speaker systems, introduction systems, elevator speech systems, video systems, you name it. I've got podcast systems, interview systems, so that you can just easily follow it. It takes away the fear, my dear. Because now you go, okay, just 1, 2, 3. And no one will ever know you're using a system. I've never had any of my 5,000 clients say, "Oh, are you using the Arvee Robinson system?" Because it's like a frame, right? I just give you the framework, but inside you are the beautiful picture. And your message is the beautiful picture. All right, so that's number 1. Number 2 is a testimonial. Now for you, testimonials would be big. I would use them in every presentation. I've shared testimonials without saying any names, but you can go as far as you want, right? So testimonial. So one of my clients, let me just give you an example. So one of my clients, his name is Hector. And Hector was a photographer, but his dream job was to be a salesperson, right? Selling to his market, speaking in Spanish. He wanted to up-level the whole Hispanic community and up-level their way of life and their standard of living. And he went out and he spoke and he failed miserably. And then he came to me and he got trained. Next time he went out to speak, he went blah, 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 poof, $4,500. Now he has those skills for the rest of his life. And you can find them. You can find them on social media. Hector Gonzalez, he's written books. He's like elevated, he's got seminars, he does masterminds now. The sky is the limit. He only took the training he needed once. Okay, but he kept doing it, kept being consistent, kept coming to my events, kept hanging out with me, right? Seeing what he could learn. So testimonials, right? The third one is emotional stories. Emotional stories. Now that doesn't mean boo-hoo stories. They can be funny because money equals money. Write that down. Funny equals money. When you can get people to laugh with you, they're ready to buy from you. So let me give you an example. You might go, well, I'm not funny and I'm not either. I haven't heard the barrel laugh in here today. I'm not either. You don't have to be a comedian. Don't worry about it. But you can use stories that get a laugh every single time and go, oh, that got a little laugh. I'm going to use that again in my next speech. Right? When I talk about speaking, here's another tip for you, which goes on the back. It's one talk. It's what we call a signature talk. And you give it over and over and over and over and over. You don't create a new talk for every single audience. No speaker does that. They find one that works and they perfect it and they just change it for the audience. They use the language of the audience. Right? Like I've done here today. Didn't change the whole thing. So don't worry about that. Oh, I gotta write a new speech. No! Just run. Okay, so, and therefore you put the same stories in. So let me just give you an example. If you don't, you're not funny, you can create a little story. You can read stories online if you don't have your own, right? You can read stories online. So I used to tell a story about my husband that 2 years ago my husband passed. Not to make you bummed out. I'm just saying it didn't seem right to continue to tell that story because of that. So sometimes you're gonna have to tell new stories, right? So here's the story. So a little girl, she was in art class, she's 5 years old, she's in art class and she's feverishly painting. And the teacher comes behind her and says, Mary, what are you painting? And Mary looks up and says, I'm painting a picture of God. And the teacher looks at her and says, but Mary, nobody knows what God looks like. And without looking up, she said, they will in a minute. So you can get some of those types online. They don't have to be things that have happened to you. So, emotional story. The last one is story with a lesson. A story with a lesson. And this is where you tell a story, but you don't tell the lesson. You let the audience get the lesson. So for example, years ago, about 10 years ago, I was invited to go to Egypt, mentor a group of people from all over the world on public speaking. There was 19 of us mentors. And so I was gone 23 days on this particular trip. And during that time, a group of us decided we were going to go up and see the sunrise on top of Mount Sinai. Now, the significance of Mount Sinai is, you can tell me? Who can tell me? Oh, we've got a religious crowd here, I can tell. Yay! The Mount Sinai, what is it? That's when Moses was delivered the 10 Commandments. I know, it was a long time ago. Okay, but that's the significance of Mount Sinai. So now there's two ways to get up there. One way is to walk up 3,750 steps right through the mountain, or another way is to ride a camel. So guess which way I decided to go?
Walk.
You know, I would walk today, but back then I wasn't as fit as I am now, even though it was 10 years ago. So I took a camel. I took a camel. And I don't know if you've ever been on a camel before. How many of you have been on a camel? Okay, yay! Okay, a couple of you. Well, it's pitch black because the sun rises what time? 5:30, even all over the world. So it's about 2 o'clock in the morning, 2:30, and pitch black. And one of the Bedouins, which is the native people that wear the robes and they live in the caves and everything, and they don't shower, they own the camels. So it picks me up and puts me on the camel. And the camel stands up, hind legs first. Right? So my entire face goes practically in the sand. Then he stands up and I'm 13 feet in the air, right? Holding on for dear life as we go up this mountain. We go on the side of the mountain. And as we kept going up higher and higher, right, you'd look off the side and it was even though it was black, you could see it was long distance. So I kept getting, more, just fearful. Until finally I couldn't stand it anymore, and all of a sudden I heard myself scream, "Oh my God!" Right? Now it's pitch black, it's quiet. All you can hear is the little camel feet, and then me screaming, right? And then the echo. My God, my God, my God. And the Bedouin stopped me. He says, "Madam," don't you hate when they call you madam? It's pitch black. How do you know I'm a madam? But he says, "Madam, the camel knows the way." And in that moment, I stopped and I thought, he's right. It's not the camel's first time. It's my first time. So I was able to relax. I still held on, but I was able to relax and let the camel lead me the rest of the way up the mountain. And when we got up there, it was so beautiful. It was all wood, not sand, it's all wood. It's all rock. And everybody's standing on these rocks. 2,000 people go up in a day. And so, and I'm standing there like Rocky, right? And then all of a sudden the sun rises from the horizon and everybody cheers and the Bedouins start singing in a cappella. And it was just such a beautiful moment that for that moment in time, I felt closer to God than I ever felt. Physically, mentally, emotionally, everything all wrapped up into one. Now, if I let fear stop me, because I could have got up and came, I would let fear stop me. I wouldn't have had that feeling. Nor would I have this great story to tell. So think about that message and what it's saying to you. All right? Okay, we're almost done. I got 3 or 4 more minutes. Now we're on the back side. I'm going to give you some power tips just for you. Some power tips. This is Sonia wanted me to give some special and why it is you should be speaking. Now, I've already mentioned a few reasons. Who can tell me why real estate professionals want to use public speaking? Why? What did you get out of this hour?
To connect with the audience.
Why?
To connect with the audience.
Connect with the audience? Yes. What else?
Leads and influence.
Get clients.
Why?
Leads and influence.
Leading and influence. Yes.
Create a relationship and trust.
Create a relationship and trust. People buy from people they know. In corporate America, we used to say, people buy from people they know, like, and trust. Guess what, ladies and gentlemen? Everything's changed from people they know, love, and trust. That's why we want to look for that connection. People have got to love you. I'm telling you, and you got to love on them. It's changed. Yes, love. Right? Love, 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 love. Just keep loving on them. All right? What else?
Great community.
Gives you confidence.
Confidence.
In your
Confidence.
words.
Yes. What else?
Great community.
Community. Yes. All good answers. Also, it creates what? You as an expert. It raises you above all the other real estate professionals on the market. That's what you want to do because they're not out there speaking. They're sitting behind their desk cold calling. Not that that's bad. You want to do that in your downtime. I'm going to give you a script though, so you'll have a better chance of getting them called, getting them returned. But you want to be visible. You want to be different. You want to stand out from the rest. Tony Robbins would always say, good isn't good enough anymore. You've got to be outstanding. That means you have to stand out from the rest. There's so many professionals out there. You got to stand out. Don't blend in. Don't be a follower. Take action. Stand out. Lead the crowd. And speaking will allow you to do that. So let me, how many of you like cold calling? I know, I love it. I love it. However, it's changed, right? Like anything else. How many of you get someone to answer the phone every time you dial? They're smiling and dialing. They answer the phone, right? What do you think the percentage is now? What is it? Of people actually answering?
1%.
1%? Probably right on. So we have to leave a message to get people to return our call. And here's the key. Too much information. Most of you are probably leaving too much information, and they have made the decision after listening, oh, well, I'm not ready to sell. I'm not ready to buy. I don't want any of that. Don't do that. Here's the script. This is $1 million script. You call up, you get the message, you say, hi, I'm Jose, and I have a quick question for you. Give me a call back at. That's it. People can't stand to not know what that question is. I have a quick question. Plus, they don't know. John, Jose, George. Do I know him? Do I know her? Right? So don't leave your whole name. Leave it like you're just a friend. Hi, this is Michael, and I have a quick question for you. Call me back at. Try it. And then I want you to call me and I want you to keep track. Okay, this one called me back, this one called me back. And then I want you to tell me the results you got and the percentage of callbacks that you got. And then you can take me to lunch for that. Sound good? Yeah. I'm on a very restricted diet. I'm sorry I won't be able to stay for lunch today. Bread is not on my diet, but it is. It is in my love. So I have to run from it. I always sleep at night and imagine this big loaf of bread right now. God, I love it. So, what's the script?
With style, somebody take up, say, hi, my name is Michael, I got a question for you, and hang up and wait for the call back.
That's right. You keep track of it, and then you're gonna call me in about a week or two, okay? So that's the magic script. Just try it. Believe me, it works. All right, what other tips? Okay, how to go from good to great. How to go from good to great. That's as a speaker, real estate professional, but right now we're really talking about speaking. You have to rehearse. If anything you say, whether it's video, that Justin's gonna help you with, whether it's your 30-second elevator speech, whether it's a reel on YouTube, which I recommend, whether it's, panning through a home, even an open house, and of course your signature talk, you need to practice. You need to rehearse. No more winging it from this day forward, because when you wing it, you get wing it results. And that means you don't know what you're gonna get. Sometimes it hits, it's like spaghetti on the wall. Sometimes it hits. Well, what if you could practice and have that confidence to know that you are presenting excellence, and you will what? Attract excellence. Remember at the beginning of my talk, I said when I got better, I not only attracted more clients, leads, but I got better ones, quality, higher quality. So when you practice, when you rehearse, you're gonna get higher quality than what you're getting right now. You don't have to grovel anymore, because you're gonna be attracting the high quality listings, clients, opportunities even. You're also gonna attract more speaking opportunities, because people love, right? Now, how many of you go to the first Friday, what's it called? I didn't even think anyway, there's a first Friday down in Rancho, which is all of real estate professionals that go there, and they have great speakers. When you can create that topic, that's not like I'm a real estate agent, but something innovative that they all could use, want, and have, they're going to invite you to speak there. Why would you speak there? Why? Because you guys share commissions sometimes, right? You share opportunities. You want to be seen anywhere and everywhere and rise to the top of being the expert that you are. All right, so here's how much you need to rehearse that. 1 hour for every 2 minutes of speech or speaking. 1 hour for every 2 minutes. So if you had a 30-minute talk, how long do you have to speak?
1 hour for 1 minute.
1 hour for every 2 minutes.
So 30 minutes.
I got lost.
15. Just cut it in half. Cut it in half. So if you had a 2-minute speech, how long are you going to practice? No, 2 minutes.
2 minutes speech, 1 hour.
Cut it in half. 1 hour. It's easy when you think of it that way. So it's a 20-minute speech. How much you can practice? 20 minutes. Cut it in half. 10 hours. Right? 30-second speech. What are you going to practice?
50 seconds.
30 minutes. 30 minutes. You see, rule of thumb. Now that's minimum, right? But that'll take you to greatness if you do it all the time. But if you want to go to excellence, you're going to keep going and keep practicing. Maybe double it, add more time. That's minimum. Now, that's why you want to do that speech over and over again, that elevator speech over and over again, because you don't have to practice that that many hours when you got it down. That's just the beginning. But then you just kind of refresh maybe half the time. So you might say, oh, 15 hours, I don't have 15 hours. The first time. It's just like any training that you've done. You've all studied for your real estate license or your broker license or whatever. You put in the time, didn't you?
Yes.
This is when you put in the time. One time you put in the time. And then you keep doing it. And if you keep practicing it live, you don't have to rehearse it anymore. So 1 hour for every 2 minutes. Magic. That'll take you to excellence. And when you're at excellence, you're going to attract excellence. And people are going to want you all the time. And they're going to share you with their friends. Okay? All right. That's how you can go from good to great. And the last part of this is add stories. That's the missing key. Find out what your audience wants and give it to them, and give it to them in a form of a story. Now, one of the things when I was looking for my home is I lived in Claremont for 10 years, and I wanted to come out here a little bit more. And I was looking for a house with a grapefruit tree. I just wanted a grapefruit tree. I needed a house with all the appliances in it because I was renting in Claremont. And so I needed all the appliances. I needed move-in ready, all of that. My realtor found that. But she missed one thing, and that was the grapefruit tree that would get me over the edge. Find out what people want, and not just what they want logistically and features. And that's one thing that I've learned a lot about real estate professionals is you go a lot for features, you just have it. I'm asking you to dig deep and go for emotion, because that tree was emotion. It was not features like a stove and 3-bedroom and all that. It was an emotion thing. And even though we saw house after house after house, no grapefruit tree, finally, she showed me one. She didn't even know there was a grapefruit tree there. And I walked in the back behind the garage, and there it was. And it was as if God went, this is your house. It was as if it lit up the sky. I couldn't believe it. And I still have that grapefruit tree today. But it would have been a lot easier and a lot faster had she, asked me and then tried to find that tree. Right? Well, that's just an example. But really dig deep. That's how, again, you can go from good to excellent. All right, so my time is finished here. You've been a great audience. I hope you had as much fun as I did. Did you?
Yes.
Yes? All right. So in the back, there's some ways to get a hold of me. There's a questionnaire, 10 questions you need to ask before you take on any speaking engagement. Just download that for free. And then if you want a strategy session with me where we can talk about how you can use public speaking to get more business, get more listings, get more clients, it's 30 minutes for free. We'll just chat about it, and we'll, just see if it's right for you, if it's a good fit for you and your business. And you can either go to the link or use the little QR code. So if you want to stay connected, I've got lots of other ways as well. I've got private coaching, I've got workshops, and I've got master classes. So there's lots of ways you can work with me. So again, thank you, Sonia and Jennifer, very much, and thank all of you.
I know, right?
There you go. Oh, I like that in the bathroom.
And now you're the photographer. As a result, now you're the photographer. Well, we'll take one with us too. No, oh no, because you already did a picture. I should take my picture. So beautiful. You make Terry's face is not. Terry. Terry. Check it with all this. Okay, Terry. Okay. Oh, come on, Terry.
When you work out